morning, good afternoon, hello and welcome to one and all from wherever in the world you may be watching. Whether you're watching from your couch in your living room or from your bed in your bedroom or from your garden in your garden or from London in London or from Manchester in Manchester or from New York in New York or in America technically, yeah, sort of thing. Anyway, you get the point. Welcome to my career mode, F1 2018 career mode. Hopefully we'll be able to get on now with this career mode. Welcome to round number 11. Obviously we're going to get straight into it. This is where I am effectively George Russell, and I am hoping for basically I'm not going to promise a 10 season career mode, but a long career mode, maybe beyond quite a few seasons. Let's say hopefully minimum 5 seasons, maximum 10 seasons, of course. But yeah, this is where I take George Russell, who will be, in case none of you or some of you may not know, should I say, will be a new Formula 1 driver from next year, racing for Williams Racing, partnering alongside now, who was confirmed, I believe it was Friday or Thursday, he was confirmed, Robert Kubica, who will also be George Russell's teammate for 2019. But I'll be obviously racing as George Russell, or pretending to be George Russell sort of thing, you know, and I'll be seeing what I can do, and hopefully we can either take Williams to
the factory without issue.
So yeah,
fitted to the car in time for the next session.
Thank you, Craig. Hopefully, obviously, that I'll be either able to take George Russell either to a top tier team, either like Mercedes, Ferrari or Red Bull, or even maybe Renault, Force India or Haas, or hopefully maybe we can actually bring Williams up the grid and maybe make them into a top tier team, as competitive as Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull and Haas and all the rest. But obviously it's going to be a long journey, it's going to be a long race and career mode to get there. As you can see, we have got miles, in some fairness, to go even before we're still on the back of Toro Rosso Honda. And yeah, you know, obviously that is concerning in some fairness, but hopefully the others don't have as many upgrades. We have made good upgrade progress in the engine development cycle. We are one of the strongest right now, but obviously that is really realistically it. We've only had, this is only season 1 though, in all fairness, so we've only from each department been able to upgrade twice, so you know, that ain't bad in some fairness, but obviously it does indicate there's a long way to go in all other fairness as well. So anyway, on with this career mode then. Obviously in terms of power units pretty damn decent right now. Everything's looking good in the hood. So yeah, you know, let's hopefully get into it. And yeah, the good news is now, because obviously we're at race 11, hopefully after this race I can actually start fitting my second motor generator unit, the energy store unit after now this race also, and I'll be able to fit some new control electronics. Obviously that will mean I'll have to then take them parts all the way to the last round in Abu Dhabi. Obviously that means then hopefully we should not incur any penalties effectively. And yeah, let's get on with then practice. Obviously practice is not most important session of weekend. It's one of the most important sessions of weekend. Helps you to get an eye in for the track, and hopefully it will help us and lead us to good resource points. So right now it is a wet Germany.
Log in some extra data during this session.
So
nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Cool. Obviously the last few rounds have been okay, haven't been exciting for us, haven't been terrible for us. Last round in Britain, we didn't have a bad round, but we didn't have the greatest round. It was a dry race, I think, of what I can recall. But we just had one of them rounds where we were not competitive, really, in many places. Anyway, enough chit chat. Onto the practice program. So into turn 1, missing turn 1 in these tricky wet conditions. Obviously, it is raining, so obviously the conditions are much worse, and therefore it is a lot harder to get everything absolutely spot on already at this moment in the weekend. But anyway, doing all right now. Obviously, still get a purple. Just need the rest of this lap to be as clean as a whistle. So far, so good in some sense. In terms of what I'm saying, will it be as clean as a whistle, or will we have to wait for another lap? So small lift through there. I didn't feel like we had the traction, and I think that means now we can only get green, so we'll just try now our best for the greens target score. So, you know, pretty sure even with a good finish to the lap, doesn't really make much of a difference in terms of that sort of side. Let's wait and see. Through turn 16. Oh! I'm going to use a flashback, and I think we actually did get purple there. I'm pretty sure, you know, if I mess this up, which I haven't, even better that time. Yeah, we did get purple, just to let you know. So yeah, there we go. So that is purple target score, and there we go. So I'll take that. I thought it had only been good enough for the green target score, so we got purple there, surprisingly, to my surprise. Quite nice always. So right, next we'll do the race strategy. Obviously, it's not going to be much value in this session anyway, so yeah. Because obviously, realistically, for this one to be any value, you need, yeah, for it, you need to do a dry run. Because unless the race is going to be wet on Sunday, so it'd be good for a wet race, I guess. But it's not any good for a dry race, sort of thing. So right now, I'm not running any setup. So clean through turn 1. Not taking any risks this time. That's how we got a bit slidey through turn 1 last time. Turn 2. Car stepping out a little bit, but it's manageable through there. It's not like it's making much of a difference, if you know what I mean. Up into turn, I think this is 4 or 5. Obviously big hairpin. Making a little bit of a mistake, going a bit deep on entry. Obviously these laps don't have to be perfect right now at this phase in the weekend. Right, let's see what we can do. That's alright through that. So 4 tenths up on the delta set by the team. And out of the final corner, 7 tenths up. That's alright. Not bad. So a lot better through turn 1 that time. Feeling much more confident through there. Into turn 2 once again. Through turn 3. More or less flat out turn 3 in the dry. In the wet, just shy of being flat out. Then just let the car skip around. Quite bouncy actually, that straight. Up into turn 4. Now, turn 5, in the dry, 100% flat out. In the wet, just a small lift. Smallest of lifts. Now, this corner is always an odd one, because even in the dry, it's not quite flat out through there, and we've made a small error. We're just going to use a flashback, just because obviously it's only practice. I tend not to use them in the race unless there's a situation where I feel I deserve to use one, obviously. Ah, balls, made a huge error, just taking a few extra. So yep, anyway, right, attempt number 2 at the Sachs curb. Tricky corner to get right that turn.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Right. Now, I don't know if we can get a new gearbox after the end of this weekend. Pretty sure we have to wait to the end of next weekend. Let's have a look at how our gearbox is handling. Our gearbox is alright, should last. Going into Hungary, might have to change it. We might want to change it, so might just take the 5-place grid drop. We'll see. So going wide a bit through the last corner, should be fine. Just gotta hold it to the line. Here we go. There we go. So that is the practice program done then there. Should we do one more? Just for fun? Or should we not? Yeah, we will, why not? So in terms of, let's have a look at how things went. So in terms of tyre wear, so tyre wear is actually as expected really. Then, according to this. In terms of the lap number, and tyre consistency, yeah, pretty consistent. Low mid 129s there then in the wet. So yeah, that's pretty good, I guess.
It's tempting to focus entirely on the race, but we should put a bit of time aside to run the qualifying sim.
So we're now on a pair of inters. So actually, this could see us go top. Let's have a look. Depends on whether anyone set a lap time on the inters. So just now doing a tyre life program, obviously. So this will indicate roughly in the wet session right now how good the tyre life. Obviously this data is going to be pretty useless for the race. For the race, because obviously the way the game works, okay, is it sort of through all the practice programs, sort of calculates a race strategy sort of thing. Oh, balls. Big balls there. Absolute big balls. Yeah, but what it does, it calculates a race strategy for the player, for me. So, obviously, practice programs in the wet are sort of a bit useless, if you know what I mean, because obviously, you're only gonna, let's say the race was dry, you're gonna get, effectively, a dry run. You know, this data's useless, ain't it? You know, because this would be for wet. So anyway, hopefully race will be wet then. So even through there, not quite flat in these intermediate conditions. So gentle on the throttle then through there. Oh, just going into the gravel, taking a small little bite out of that gravel track. I like to take a wide line in the wet conditions here through the Sachs curb. It's just something nicer about it, especially in the wet, I feel. Right, here we go, across the line, going to be an improvement. That's good enough up to 10. So, you know, and that is our session now done. We've done all the practice programs I want to do now. So let's go straight into qualifying and see what we can do for qualifying. So obviously, you know, let's have a look then where we finished. So Max Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas and Vettel on the top three. But let's have a look where we are. Whoa. Right, so that is actually, obviously practice times are not too much to go by, because obviously Charles Leclerc and Ericsson up in 13th and 12th obviously is quite a big leap, but obviously it is a bit of a concern noting that we were practically the last or the worst in the intermediate conditions, and there's only one driver behind me who did a worse time, but did his time on a wet tyre. That is a bit of a concern. Hopefully it won't be too much of a concern. I know practice times are not much to go by, but obviously you do have to monitor them, because obviously you don't want to be, you know, I know we did beat our practice program or Team Delta, but obviously sometimes the Team Delta might be wrong. Hopefully it ain't wrong this, hopefully it is wrong, sorry, this time. But yeah, you know, obviously, let's have a look then what we can do for quali, to see what will happen. After, hopefully, after a weird session, obviously a very wet session, so that's dampened my spirits, certainly. You know.
Welcome to Germany for today's qualifying
session. So it is dry, to let you know, which is hopefully good news for us. Now we're going to put on a car setup here. We're going to run 7 front wing, and going to also put on that. We're not going to change anything in that sense. Run a bit less than grip. Then we'll go. So should we go 7? Yeah, we'll go 7. Right. Pray this will work.
Checks complete.
So here we go then, out for our first qualifying outlap then. This hopefully will be the first lap. Hopefully it'll be a decent lap then here, ladies and gents. Hopefully it'll be a lap that we can remember. And maybe a lap that will put us somewhere in a good direction. Right. So out we go then. Got a Force India, I believe, or one of the Haas cars behind us. Let's see, it's Magnussen actually. So K-Mag. Now, just having a look at where we could be on the track. See a little gaps, not big gaps. There's one behind one of the Toro Rossos. So I may try and fit in behind the 2 Toro Rossos, so I'm going to let Magnussen go here. And yeah, I'm going to try and get some decent traffic here. Got a lot of fuel on board, weirdly, so hopefully that won't affect our lap. You know what I mean? I may be already looking at issue. Don't know why I've got fuel. We're gonna stay roughly in this position. So here we go. First, hopefully, what will be flying lap. Then. through turn 1. In fact, pretty nice through turn 1. Into T2. Turn 3 now, as you can see, flat out. No, I don't really class this as turn at all, but here's turn 4. Heavy hairpin. Flat out now. Turn 5, non-existent in the dry anyway. In the way, it's certainly a turn. Turn 7. Through 8 and 9. And turn 10. Odd one turn 10 is always, in my belief. Through turn 11. 12. 13 and 14. Through turn 15. Flat out of line, and in fact that dislodges Roman Grosjean. So yeah, you know, actually a very good lap actually, surprisingly. So we're gonna have a look at how much tyre wear. Now we're gonna come back to the pits now. So Gasly did a good lap there, so that just indicates Grosjean did a bad lap, in my opinion. More than I did just an astonishing lap. Because Gasly's, you know, done a good lap. Perez did a good lap there. But looks like maybe we're on top of this midfield now. So could this be the place where we get our first points? Hulkenberg moves up into second. Now we're going to take off a bit more fuel for the next run. And hopefully that will massively improve our lap time. Because I actually do feel the fuel would have slowed us down. I don't think the fuel would have helped. So we actually may use a brand new energy store for the race, but what we may do is we may utilise this energy store like throughout practice sessions to sort of balance out the act, if you know what I mean. Right, second run is going to be coming up soon. So we're going to take off a bit of fuel because I feel that's way too much. Go for 3.9 litres. So we'll go out in about 2 minutes time. So when it reaches about around 10 minutes, we're going to go now for what will be a second run now. So this will be our second to final run, hopefully. Hopefully another decent run. Let's see where we are also as we exit the garage. Everyone should have roughly done a lap now. So after the first runs, we look to be P9, which ain't bad actually when you think of it. Right, so gonna treat this out lap a little bit differently. We'll have plenty of cleaner, if you know what I mean. So I certainly think I know where I can improve. It didn't feel like the smoothest of laps, in all honesty. It felt very unsmooth, if you know what I mean. Didn't feel smooth at all. But hopefully that finds smoothing out the lap a little bit. Then that should make us maybe go a few tenths quicker. I don't believe we have a lot in the bag. Here I think we can certainly improve. That would be a much better line if we did that. And I feel like maybe a closer line. We'll see when we come to that corner. Alright, turning up the wick now. Or getting ready to. There we go. On to our second flying lap. Keep to the left. And...
Are you alright?
oh no. That is us out of qualifying. What a idiot am I. Let's hope. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, we are out of qualifying. We did set a lap. So hopefully it'll be good enough anyway.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow.
P11.
Before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top
Oh, that is a shame. P11. Then, as I said, I don't use flashbacks during qualifying or the race. I made a mistake in that corner, in the first corner. Genuinely, hands up then there. Felt like the car just got loose all of a sudden. In all honesty, but yeah, you know, that's the way sometimes it is, you know. But second time I've done that weirdly. I did it in Austria, sort of thing, and I've now done it here. Yeah, not good, sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
That's a lot of damage for us to fix up to get you out for the next session.
But anyway,
Try and keep it in one piece next time, would you?
Remember
do.
to select a driver that you consider your rival from the rivalry screen on the workstation. Performing well
Right.
against your rival can earn you respect.
New
and better
rival.
terms when it comes to our contract reviews.
I
Here you can
think
see a list of
we'll
eligible
go
drivers to
for
declare as your
Ericsson.
rival. The more challenging they are to beat, the more the
So here we go then, for the race. P11, I think it's an alright position actually, in all fairness. We get a fresh set of ultras in all fairness as well. So yeah, you know, actually, in a way, we're in the sweet spot, as they sometimes say in Formula 1. Of course, you know, so you can't be too disappointed, in that sense, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, we're not maybe where we should be either.
We're almost ready to go then.
So, anyway, I'll
This
just,
is our Engine Supplies Home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
so yeah, Engine Supplies Home Grand Prix. Hopefully we can do a decent job. In fact, so far, the Mercedes cars are third and fourth. So yeah, I'll just give you a rundown of the grid order. So Sebastian Vettel starting on pole from Lewis Hamilton from Valtteri Bottas in third. Fourth is Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen, with fifth going to Daniel Ricciardo for Red Bull Racing, and sixth going for Max Verstappen. Renault, Carlos Sainz finishing in seventh, so we'll start in seventh. Nico Hülkenberg will start in eighth, also Renault, and Force India's Esteban Ocon will start in ninth. P10 will be Alonso. P12 is myself, George Russell. Obviously not really George Russell, just to let you know, but yep. Sergio Perez in 12th and 13th, Kevin Magnussen 14th, Charles Leclerc 15th, Pierre Gasly 5th and 16th, Romain Grosjean 17th, Brendan Hartley 18th, Marcus Ericsson 19th, Sergei Sorokin, and rounding off the grid, like usual, is Stoffel Vandoorne in 20th. So here you go then. So on getting ready for formation lap, and we are underway. Formation lap is go. Sebastian Vettel has led us away then, as Alonso also now goes, and yep.
We're not seeing any technical issues
Not doing
on the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to book down.
anything massive then. So for this lap, just gonna save the engine sort of thing. Put everything into lean mix. Might save a little bit of fuel then there. So lap 5 is our pit window. So we'll see what we can do.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Oh, what's going on here? Bit of a bunch up. So I'm just gonna assume some are gonna be disqualified. Yeah, Alonso disqualified. And that, so rightly so. And I think Ocon's now disqualified. Not sure. So anyway, now time to turn back up the engines. So obviously they're not disqualified from the race, everyone. They're just disqualified from the formation lap. So what it just means, you know, I think some more are going to be disqualified. Oh balls, I've gone off there then, because I'm caught up in all the excitement sort of thing of how many people are getting disqualified from a formation lap, more or less. Now, it says Alonso's still going, however he's meant to be pretty sure disqualified. Yeah, he's now getting disqualified. Anyway, on to the race. What will happen then in round number 11 in Germany? Can we get our first points? It's in fact our second best starting grid position in our Formula 1 career. 12th is our best, 11th is our second best, but will this 11th translate to points? As the lights now turn on, 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go for the German Grand Prix. It's been a good start from Fernando Alonso. In fact, we've not got a great start, and in fact we've got a bad start with a bit of front wing damage. This just may have wrecked our chances of points. But look at Leclerc, what a dive bomb maneuver that is. But taking a bit more damage we are, and that could effectively wreck our chances of points today. So we're just going to have to live with it. We'll have to see if we can live with it. Anyway, we're up into 10th place in meanwhile. But we're gonna try and keep strong. In fact, we're not gonna try and live with the damage we've got for a few laps and see if we can just get that 1 point. Because I don't think the undercut would be worth it unless we go into a 2-stop early. But then I don't think there's a point of that. I think the only thing we can do, if we get this tyres to lap 3, I'm going to box. It'll give me an undercut strategy. And yeah, it may just work. So expect some tense few laps here. And we're only fighting over 1 point right now. And now we're fighting over no points. And we fucked up.
What happened?
Right.
I know you're okay.
We're going to restart. Because obviously, once again, I don't want to bring shit content. Right, we'll restart. I don't know what happened there, in all honesty. Just had a... Well, we had a bad start, in all fairness. Right, anyway, attempt number 2. 5 rights, lights out, and away we go. No need to do that again. Right, once again, having just a weird start. Really bogging down. But this time, making it work. Here we go then. So it's really, really tight through here. Alright, P12. So in fact we're worse than last time. And Charles Leclerc looking to take that P12 away from us.
Okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
And what an idiot. Where this car here, if I'm correct, this is an idiot. Yeah, idiot. What gap were you thinking or you going in? Not been funny. What gap? The gap was there, but come on. I'm just going to do a flashback now and close that gap instantly, because you're okay. Yeah, for sure you can go, but 3 abreast into that corner, bit uncomfortable in my opinion. I guess it's Magnussen, you know. I guess we would see. The AI are wrecking my videos and my content and my driving. I'm usually really, really good. Even online, I usually win races. But offline, oh geez, the AI are just so bad. They're going for crazy gaps. I know Codemasters did say the AI were a bit crazy this year, but I didn't think they were that crazy, if you know what I mean. Like, anyway, I feel now like my video is sort of fucked now, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I've got 17 laps to redeem myself. Let's call it a redemption race now, shall we say. I can't wait till we get to the front of the grid. Oh. No one saw that. I didn't cut the corner. Right, anyway. In 13th now. Let's forget about what happened early on. Let's only remember what's going to happen now. Shall we? Now, I don't know why I put that down into lean. I actually wanted it in standard and low. Because obviously, right now, I presume the AI are in rich mix. Oh, getting a bit squirmy on the exit. Let's have a look where Magnussen is. Not in a position to overtake as of yet. Certainly not fast enough. But yeah. Let's have a look then. So Lewis Hamilton setting the benchmark for everyone. Is he leading? Yeah, I think he is. Wouldn't surprise me. Now can Kevin Magnussen catch us? Kevin Magnussen side by side. And I've taken out what was Kevin Magnussen thinking. Honestly. How can... Right, let's have a look. Who's at fault? Let's have a look. So I go defensive. He knows I'm going to defend. If you look from there, I would back out personally. Even now, you can tell he hasn't got the car far enough, in my opinion, ahead. Like, and now obviously, because I've got right. The only other thing I can do is go straight on and don't even commit to the corner. Because this is, as you can see, a very, very tight corner. You're not fitting two cars along here, and I just don't think it's possible. And he went for a lunge as well. So this was, let's say, before braking zone. So this is when I broke, and I would say this is normal place for braking. He broke about here, about there. And then at that point, I'm committed. There we go. I'm going to try and recover it from here, because I feel like I'm going to try and catch it, if you know what I mean. There you go.
Okay, clear.
And I'm sorry, everyone. I know I said I don't use flashbacks mainly, and I don't. I honestly don't. I only use them, as I said, when I need them, and I feel that is needed. Because, obviously, he went for a maneuver in such a stupid area. Like, for sure, right. Whoa, that is a lot of speed he's carrying. But you're not going to go through at turn 1. And I'm sorry, it's just a stupid position even to go for a maneuver. If you know what I mean. It's like going for a maneuver. What's the tightest corner on the Formula 1 calendar? It's Lowe's hairpin, I'm pretty sure. It's a bit like going for an overtake at the Lowe's hairpin in Monaco, or here at the Sachs curb in Germany. You're just not going to happen. And unfortunately, I know that we would love all to see racing where you could overtake at every single corner, but you just can't overtake every single corner. Oh, well, I don't know what keeps happening there. I just lifted off the power, I think. But anyway, like as I said, okay, it's just impossible. Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't now do turn 1 myself. And now making me look shit. There you go, that's turn 1. Finally. Right, anyway, through turn 2. But anyway, Oh, now I can't do fucking turn 3. Julian, you are a spastic. That's a nice way of saying it.
On the MFT.
This race is, once again, it's a typical weekend. Starting off well, then going to shit right now. It'd be funny if it happened to George Russell in real life. He had a good quali, but then after that one lap, every time, he's out. That would be funny as fuck. But yeah. Oh, for bollocks. You're having an absolute laugh, aren't you? Since when do you see a driver spinning out of that curb? Apart from me. I never do it. At this corner, I've never spun out at. In a race. Just to let you know. And I don't know what it is. Also, this corner I've made mistakes. Every other corner on the German track I've made mistakes at, except that corner there.
We're boxing this lap.
Every single time. If it happens one more time, I am giving up. Okay, folks? Because I just, you know, feel like, you know, one more time and I'll be giving up if I spin at that precise corner. So I've done fastest, or a personal best, should I say, first sector. Can the last few laps be a redemption? Right.
Box this lap, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't say that corner anyway. I said, through the first corner. So if we spin through the first corner, I am giving up. Just to let you know. Like, I am quick through this circuit, but it's just odd. If you know what I mean. Alright, there we go, into pits. Let's have a good pit stop, shall we, guys? Here we go, in we come. Laying actually one of Force Indias. Oh, come on. That's a shame. Have we got out in front? Yeah, we've actually jumped a few. But
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
we're in 14th. Now, there are quite a few still to make their pit stops, including my teammate. So gonna push straight away on these tyres, get them straight up to temps, and look at Gasly. Look how quick Pierre Gasly is, man, in a straight line. We're virtually nowhere, and yet we're meant to have one of the quickest cars in a straight line, hey? So, men have one of the quickest, that's the funny thing, and then look at Gasly. Now, if you think this race is bad, the worst race, in terms of our car performance, probably is going to be next race. In some sense. Hungary. It's going to be the worst race until Singapore, because Singapore is going to be an absolute dog of a race for this car.
Gap to car in front is 5.5 seconds.
Oh, just holding it. I thought that was us out, sort of thing. like, or giving up. So we've done a few laps where we've not actually spun, but look at how many behind us. We've got so many, and for whatever reason, Daniel Ricciardo is slowing down, I think, but that's Gasly. He's going to get past us. We're going to come back on the brakes. And obviously, on the brakes, we're just so much quicker. Now, let's have a look.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.3 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 1 lap old.
So why...
Their time last lap was a 1 minute 35.0.
Oh, so Ricciardo's just come out of the pits, by the sounds of things, then. So, I thought he had an issue of some sort, because obviously, quite far back for Daniel Ricciardo, obviously, and a Red Bull! Still not spinning out of that corner. I said, I've never spun out, and had a half spin, but I've still never spun out then. Managing to hold it. So... Oh, no, no. Oh, balls. Does that mean I have to give up now? I don't want to give up. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep on racing. But we've only got 10 laps. Why not? Anyway. I feel like a mixture of emotions. Because obviously, once again, I feel like I shouldn't be even racing now after spinning out so many times, but at the same time I do have decent pace, much better than my teammate, as you can see, because if we just radio in for my teammate,
We're leading our teammate by 9.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. The time last lap was a 1:33.6.
so you can see my point, like, in terms of, or I hope you can see my point, like, in terms of,
Gap to the car in front is 5.1 seconds.
yeah, in terms of how well, like, okay, I'm not saying, like, I've had an amazing race or anything. I've had actually a really, really shit race. Again. A race that I should forget, really. Well, not forget, but at the same time, it's also the car, I feel, that's just not gripping. Like, so, I feel like my pace is certainly better than my teammates, and it's evident. Because he's 9.9 seconds back, and he wouldn't be 9.9 seconds back if he was a better driver, if you knew what I mean. But he's 9.9 seconds back, and in fact, I am on the tail end of the top 10. If anything goes wrong for one of them top 10 guys, I am in the points, if you know what I mean.
ERS deployment to up the pace.
So, it's a mixture of emotions, but at the same time, I shouldn't be in this race because, you know, I haven't performed good enough in my opinion. So, it is really, really a tough mix of emotions right now, going through my mind. Knowing that I shouldn't be in the race, but I am in the race, but I shouldn't be in the race, but I've got good pace. Either way, like if you take, let's say I didn't make that error there at turn 1, near enough every other lap, or every lap, then I would have very, very good pace. And just to prove that, actually, so right, best lap time for me, let's just have a look at lap times, okay? Right, best lap time for me is a 17.2. Best lap time for my teammates, a 1:18.6 on the Ultras. Now, for me on the Ultras, my best lap time was a 18.3, a 18.2, a 18.1. Whereas, so you can just see actually there, that's evidence. 18.1, that's about 0.6 of a second. Okay, you can argue that was with a spin, but the rest of the lap must have then been good. Let's just take out that T1 and you can see my point, hopefully. It's only that one corner, but if you remove that one corner, I know obviously that's the layout of the track, but if you remove that one corner, it's a lot better, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm on about. Like, I just feel, you know, that's why I'm in a mixture of emotions right now, or mixture of feelings, because I know I've got the pace to certainly compete for top 10, but the car, I feel, is the issue. And obviously, you know, if you just look at how Williams have performed this year in real life, I think, oh, for fuck's sake, did I just say earlier I've never spun out Saxon curb? Everyone, you've just witnessed something that I've never ever done before. I was actually having a low moment, but technically I didn't really spin out at Sax curb, because Sax curb is here, but I spun out on the exit, so, or, you know, I'm gonna say that's 50-50. Because, yeah, I would have actually spun out, see? I told you. That ain't Sax curb. Because I span out here, really. And, okay, it is the exit. But, yeah. That's the entrance as well to the next one. So, I'll call it a 50-50, that one. But, yeah. But, yeah.
Gap to teammate behind is 16.2 seconds.
As he's 16.2 behind. No way is he 16.2. Teammate status.
We're leading our teammate by 16.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 20.5.
What happened to my teammate? He was only 9 seconds a few minutes ago, I'm pretty sure. Now he's 15. Wow, 5th gear. I just want to have a look at something. Right, he's going 5th gear through that. That is... It's like he's going so slow through there, wow. And that's probably actually the car. That is actually the car. And that just shows you. So, it ain't me, it's the car. I'm sorry, guys, to say. It's the actual car that's the reason why... Ooh. Yeah, it's the actual car that seems to be the issue right now. Oh, I just want to have a look. We're going to have a look. Right, what... Yeah, right, here we go. Argy-bargy between me and Grosjean. Grosjean's got the position, though. Running a bit wider. So you never spun out Sax curb, as I said. And still never. I didn't really class the other one, because obviously I've been doing a lot of talking. Right, flat out where I'm at. Obviously, as I said, I'm not even going to try and get the move.
It's time to use some of this charge.
See? Just hold back, be clever, then go around the outside of Romain Grosjean. Now, I wanted him to do that, more or less, because there's a DRS zone just here, and that just gives me a bit more straight line speed. And for the DRS, here we go, on Romain Grosjean, easy manoeuvre. As you can see, look how much more speed we've got than Romain Grosjean. And look at Charles Leclerc, who's also on the outside, giving him enough room to race with. And yeah, we're ultimately just winning, just edging out. Then... Right. I'm not going to get fastest lap. I'm not going to get points by the looks of it, unless Ocon or someone drops out from top 10. So I'm just going to cruise around, really. And yeah. Right. Next time we come through, so I'm just going to monitor what gear we're coming through here in.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So, right. In a top car, I know you can really come through here sixth gear.
9.2
How about this
seconds.
car? Just about sixth gear. Alright, Charles Leclerc is going to have problems, but I may almost have problems. Charles Leclerc, we're going to go to the inside. Almost stopping that.
Engine is looking a little...
It's a decent battle, you have to admit that, guys. It's a fun battle between Charles and myself. I'm sort of a bit like a roadblock right now. Oh. See, the car just unexpectedly just gets away from me. Stoffel Van Dorn right now at the back of the grid. I presume that is some 20 seconds. So let's find out where everyone is. So, teammate status.
There's static over the radio. Say again. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Teammate status.
Gap to teammate behind is 17.9 seconds. They're on old softs. The time last lap was a 1:20.6.
So, right now, my teammate is very much 17 seconds behind. Quite a big gap between me and him. Or him and I, should I say. And my teammate's now just been overtaken by Stoffel Van Dorn. Now, is that a car I see? I'm pretty sure I just saw a car. No, I didn't see a car. Thought I saw a car up in front. I'll say. Oh, balls! I'm gonna rewind. I made a mistake on the entry. Really start back here if you really look at it. But yeah. And I've done the same mistake again. Just late turning. Because I'm a little bit too far to the right, if you understand. Right. You can see, never spun at the Sax curb. But I've spun after the Sax curb on multiple occasions. It's very easy actually to spin, not here, just here. Cause you get a, just gotta get loose just a little bit, and you can spin. Anyway, a few more laps now till you can all go to bed or finish watching this video sort of thing, or whatever you're doing. Finish off what you're doing maybe. Few more laps now. Oh, glad, in a way, I'm glad I, as I said, hold on to P11. Right, let's try and build out a gap. Let's try and bridge that gap to Romain Grosjean. Let's try and really build on it. Let's see how much we can do.
Let's use some of this energy.
So no more flashbacks now. That's going to be a guarantee. Even if we crash now, in the next 3 laps, there'll be no more flashbacks. So I'm going to try and...
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
So, Charles... So right now, P16. So, yeah, we've got about 1 second gap to Charles Leclerc. He's in P12. And it just shows you, actually, what I mean. We have the pace, but it's the car just sometimes gets a bit loose for whatever reason. Just maybe not used to a circuit like this. And there you go, 117 again. Well, let's try and go for our best ever lap around here. Well, not best ever, but best today. Shall we? Let's see what we can do. So Vettel is your race winner, with Lewis Hamilton, I believe, coming home in second, and Bottas third. Raikkonen looking like he's in fourth. We, though, look like we're going to take 11th. It'll be our best race result in theory. It feels like the last few laps I've redeemed myself, but obviously I don't feel like this race had anything much to say for me, really. We're coming home in 11th, take best season result for Williams and for myself. There you go. Obviously, yeah, you know, as I said, if it wasn't for turn 1 and for maybe a few other things that happened during that race, we would have more or less had a great or a decent race, I would have said. And that's why I am happy with myself, because my pace was there. It was there, and there is evidence there. But, you know, especially in them final few laps, them final 3 laps, I did not make many mistakes. I don't think I made one mistake in the final laps. I may have made a mistake in the one corner, but I didn't make a mistake where I spun, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
So Vettel is your race winner, Hamilton second, Bottas is third. So that will help certainly Sebastian Vettel in the Drivers' Championship. And it will obviously help Ferrari in the Constructors. So many race wins now Ferrari have had this season in career mode, in the Drivers and Constructors. I think they've done better than Mercedes massively. So yeah, just give you a top 10 rundown. So more or less, so Vettel finishing first, Hamilton second, Bottas third, Raikkonen in fourth. Fifth is Daniel Ricciardo. Sixth, Max Verstappen. Seventh, Carlos Sainz. Eighth is Hülkenberg. Ninth is Perez. And 10th is Ocon. As you can see, there is the rest of the field. So yeah, Van Dorn actually not last. He actually finished 15th, surprisingly. Then yeah, wow, very, very decent. Obviously we started 11th, finished 11th, so not a bad race. As I said, you know, it wasn't so much actually the race itself that was bad. Okay, you may see it in a different light. All of you may have seen me take out Magnussen sort of thing, but I didn't take out Magnussen. Magnussen made a stupid error, and he went into me, unfortunately, which, you know, he tried to overtake in a corner that was not really an overtaking chance. And yeah, you know, okay, we did, yeah, I will put hands up and admit we did keep on spinning at turn 1. Okay, we did make 2 bad starts, but if we take all them factors out, just some small details, in fact we had a decent race, I think, you know, and I think we actually didn't do too bad in the end. And to finish, in fact, 43 seconds, actually, you know, more or less 30 seconds ahead of my teammate. It's impressive, actually. when you think of it. Very, very impressive. But yeah, you know, nonetheless. Standings now. So, as I said, Ferrari on top. But, surprisingly, Mercedes are coming back into the championship. Both drivers and constructors. Lewis Hamilton and Bottas both have 153 points. Wow. That is very, very close. Must be tense rivalry out Mercedes now. Jeez. But yeah, the two Ferraris, Kimi Raikkonen, only 6 points now ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Vettel certainly much more better in this middle part. But it's still very, very much advantage Raikkonen, you know, certainly going forward. Charles Leclerc is in 14th. Just to let you know, Nico Hülkenberg is the other big mover today, moving up now into 7th ahead of Sergio Perez. And us, and in fact, we have, okay, yeah, we may not have a points finish as of yet, but just to let you know, guys, we have moved up into 17th ahead of Pierre Gasly, which is fantastic. Glad to see that, of course, which is nice. Obviously, in terms of constructors, Ferrari still hold out a very commanding 28-point lead over Mercedes. Then a bit of a bigger gap back to Red Bull Racing, who's got 82 points. However, the gap is really, really big back to Renault, who's in 4th, but no real changes there in the championship. In fact, none at all. So, right, let's now jump into the post-race, see if we've got any interviews, and yeah, let's see what will be going down, shall we?
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Right, let's read the question.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
So, ecstatic? Not really. I wouldn't really say that. I'm just gonna put maybe, but you can't get complacent. You know, that is probably...
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Well, we had a lot of crashes throughout the race. I'm gonna say definitely, you know, because obviously, yeah, we certainly were very, very lucky people then not to end our race more than 3 times, multiple times where, in fact, we probably would have in real life, should have, would have, and could have gone out in real life. Obviously, though, this is only a game. Do remember that as well, ladies and gents. It isn't real life, if you know what I mean. It's only meant to be for fun, and that's the entire point of it, you know. Right, so we're easily now, once again, outscoring our rivals. So yeah, you know, McLaren's looked a bit impressed this weekend, but gained also a bit of reputation, which is alright, and a bit of experience once again. And there we go. So right, should we do upgrades? Yeah, why not? So we're going to do a few upgrades then to the car, which will hopefully make it perform better in the long run. What do we do? So here we go, performance. So obviously engine isn't really where we need to focus. However, the problem is, obviously, you know, we obviously need to gain, right, so we're also going to do a upgrade there. So that's going to be our first big upgrade, ladies and gents. And I'm not going to focus on the engine side. I may actually, in fact I will. So I'm going to focus on the engine a little bit. So yeah, them upgrades, so we have got some big upgrades now coming. Let's have a look when them upgrades will be. So we're going to have 1 upgrade at the Belgium Grand Prix, just to let you guys know. And then we're going to have 2 big upgrades at the Italian Grand Prix. So how many weekends do we have to wait? So we've only got 2 weekends, effectively, to the Belgium Grand Prix. So, yeah, that ain't too long. And then the weekend after the Belgium, we're going to have a few nice upgrades at Italy. So, yeah, you know, who knows? Maybe Italy will be the place where we will get our first championship points in our career. Maybe. Who knows? Obviously, as I said, you know, I think, in fact, we've actually now had, effectively, the best chance for points probably since China, if you know what I mean. Because China we went really, really well at. And I think maybe since Spain was the other good chance where we had good chance of points. France, we could have got points, but we didn't. But I think it was another good chance. Austria, we could have got points. Definitely could have got points. Easily could have got points. But unfortunately, it was wet and we crashed out there. And then Britain, I don't think we could have got points. However, I think in theory we could have got points, if you know what I mean. Because in theory, our car should be strong around a circuit like Britain, but we didn't once again. So, you know, and I think obviously we could have probably got points here, but yeah, turn one kept on catching us out for whatever reason. Also, the pace, it was there more or less, but we just didn't have the pace early on. And yeah, you know, obviously that's really what cost us solid points today, and probably points that would have helped us and gone a long way. However, obviously it's still very close. Neither Toro Rosso's drivers have scored points. Ericsson still hasn't scored points, and nor has Van Dorn. And even though Charles Leclerc and Alonso have scored points, in all honesty, they haven't scored many points. So if we have a really strong end to the season, I think realistically we can easily get Fernando Alonso. I think Esteban Ocon and Romain Grosjean and going into the Magnussen group would be a very big push. But obviously, you know, I am up for that push, of course, like always. You know, in terms of Hungary, what can we do around Hungary? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I'm confident, you know, it'll be an alright circuit. Anyway, just show you my tyre selection for Hungary before we leave then. So, I'll just go into the Hungarian. So, once again, going for 3 sets of the softs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sets of the ultras and 2 sets of the medium compound tyre, or the mediums, or the white tyre, you know, sort of thing. So yep, just have quick, we'll just jump not straight into practice, because we're not doing practice, but we'll jump sort of into the data center, to sort of see what's going on, anything sort of thing. So you'll be first to see. So let's have a look. Any messages? So Ferrari, obviously that's just a driver championship update. And the weather forecast is dry for both qualifying and the race, which is alright indeed. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please leave it a thumbs up if you have. Please hit that like button also if you have. Obviously, this series is new to the channel, and I'll look to do many more seasons. Obviously, this is only season 1, and yeah, like I said, we do have the worst car, and you know, we're trying to break into that midfield group. Once we are, in theory, I would say, on par with other teams, in my opinion, we will be good. Once we can get a decent car, we will be able to start fighting, and then we'll be able to say, now we can fight, sort of thing. But obviously, we've got a long way to say, now we can fight, sort of thing. As I said, once we've got a decent car, once I can really feel that car coming along, then we're going to be on fire. But, you know, it's still a long way till we've hit the levels of Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. Because as you can see there, so far, we're in Williams, as you can see, which is the worst team on the grid. And we've got a long way to catch Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. But we're up for the challenge, like always. I'm up for the fight, I'm up for racing. And yeah, we will eventually, hopefully, get there in the end. And what's positive to see, in fact, there are teams in fact that are interested in me, just to show you, which shows we're not doing too bad in all fairness. Where are them teams? Is it driver detail? No, not driver details, not rivals. Can't find it. Power units, can't find it, but you know, don't think it's here. You know, yeah, I just can't find it anyway. But you know, there are teams that are starting to take note in what we're doing and how we're doing it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Have a good night. thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, like always. Also, please do leave this video a thumbs up. And if you do leave it a thumbs down, I do not mind, first of all, but also please give constructive criticism of what I can do better for you, so that you'd be interested in watching more of my videos, and instead of giving that thumbs down, next time you'd give it obviously a thumbs up. A bit of customer feedback, should we call it. So thank you for you know, watching once again, and I hope you have a good evening and a good night, and see you all for round 12, the Hungarian Grand Prix.